everyone, thanks so much for joining me. In this video, we're going to cover one arm row and double arm row. These are exercises that are for the back muscles, the sides, the abs. Of course, we want to incorporate the power of our legs and glutes, but everything in this is going to have an emphasis around all the muscles that help us with excellent posture. The work of these positions are very similar to plank pose, Chaturanga, push-up. So we're really looking for those consistent lines that we would have while upright. Okay, so I'm going to head on back here. I have a couple of weights, a flat bench, a block. The weights that I'm using are 15 pounds. Generally, I wouldn't have any student start with less than 8. We need enough weight to reference. I've worked with as much as I think 25 to 30 pounds, as much as I have lifted in the past. But I thought 15s would be good for today. So we'll head on back. So the first thing I want to show is how to do this without weight. Okay, so for the single arm, you'd only need one weight. One knee generally goes on the bench, and then the other foot is on the ground, okay? So you want to find that right spacing where you feel like you're not slouching. You don't want to be in this position. You know, this would be terrible. Can you kind of see why? That would be bad. Okay, we don't want to be here because then we'd be totally sinking into the back, and it would be, you know, we would be creating this, and you wouldn't stay in this for very long because it wouldn't be good. We don't want to go out and then, you know, from one extreme to another. So that the movement, if we try to find plank as far as the engagement of plank pose, right? Can you kind of see that with the upper body? My arms are really plugged in. I'm rooting from the ground all the way up. So I want to feel my abs, okay, my back muscles, my sides, glutes, thighs. Sometimes, okay, if someone's having a hard time kind of connecting with this awareness, we put a block in between the thighs. And again, you have to find that right width that works for you, that gives you enough reference, okay? And then we're just going to be working up and down. The head will stay in line with the spine. There are different grips. So you could typically start with this one, okay, where the palm is just facing here, and we pull up, okay? You can also go out to the side. You could twist as we come up, okay? I really have no attachment to a lot of that. I'm always just looking for good supported channels for the joints so that the joints look good and safe and the muscles are working appropriately. Sometimes the wrist that's down can fatigue, so you want to make sure that the bench is also the right height, okay, for you. And sometimes you can't really change the bench height, depends, you know, what you've purchased, but you could have a block or two to kind of raise the height for you, okay? So I'm going to take this here, getting it all set up. I don't generally use the block. I'm going to set that down. Okay, so I'm looking here to make sure, again, that I am ready from my feet to the head of the arm bones, to the length of my spine. I feel my abs engage, okay? And then just starting with this way and pulling up. So if someone's having a hard time connecting to their back muscles, then I'll have them hold the weight up here and do little minis, mini movements. I'm really monitoring that their shoulder doesn't drop down, the elbow isn't higher than the height of the shoulder. We communicate a lot, making sure they're not in their neck, okay, that the hand that's down, the wrist feels fine, okay, and then carefully setting it down. So when you set it down, you don't want to release, right, because then your joint would be vulnerable. And then just switching sides. So the outside leg is down, okay, and the inside knee is on here, okay. Another thing that I often do is I have someone start with what they consider their weaker side, and then that sets how many we're going to be doing, because I always want to have the body feel as even as possible. We don't want to encourage, you know, increased strength on one side while the other side is still always trying to catch up. Okay, so taking hold, grounding, that standing leg is not locked. Okay, so we have this kind of flowing power. Okay, plugging in, bringing the elbow up, really making sure, reaffirming before we really go into this movement. And then you can decide if you're going to go big, okay, or focus on little, okay? Or do kind of alternating the two. You could go from minis to bigs to minis to bigs. Okay, again, all the different options. There's so many options, right? What I'm really picky about is the line, okay? So that when you come out of it, you know what you're supporting is best posture possible. Okay, don't worry. My head's gonna get cut off here, okay? So we're looking for that. Now, you could do both at the same time. Just have the weights handy here. Okay, but again, I like to set things up with no weight at first, so we really get the alignment. Again, you can use a block between the thighs. Okay, so I just wanna have it so, to kind of a reminder, okay, for engagement and to keep those center lines. Gonna be here. So center lines, the feet, knees, hips, okay? And then when I hinge, all right, I have a good line. You can kind of see it seamless from the tailbone all the way to the crown of the head. Okay, how much I hinge, okay? It's kind of whatever feels best and I can maintain good form. So I'll be holding both weights like this, pulling them up. Okay, so we've got the work of plank, Chaturanga, okay? You can also, right, push up, kind of see that. Okay, so I'm always trying to envision how one particular exercise relates to another that's in a similar shape family. Okay, so I'm gonna grab the weights here, okay, making sure I've got that plug in, that everything is secure, and then I'm gonna squeeze the muscles around my shoulder blades toward each other. I really want to make sure that I feel that my spine is lengthened, that I feel my abs, my sides, and then again I can go for minis. I can go down and pull it up, but notice how I'm not going into a slouch. Okay, I'm really trying to lengthen. So I feel my legs, glutes, abs, sides, my back muscles. My arms are like probably the last thing that are gonna fatigue. It's really everything else. And then carefully setting them down. And so hopefully you felt, right, all these back muscles are all around the sides. For sure the arms, but the arms are not your primary exercise, okay, in this position. It's really for your back. Maybe 15s were enough. The back, the shoulders, abs, sides, thighs, glutes. So I hope that this was helpful, that it enhances your plank, your push-up, your chaturanga, and that you have a great day. Namaste.